Hello, and welcome to this informative video about environmental activism. In this video, we will delve into the motivations behind why people participate in environmental protests and what drives them to take action. If you're a champion for the environment and want to stay informed about the latest developments in this field, then make sure to hit the subscribe button and join our community of environmentally conscious individuals. Let's begin. Environmental activism is a growing trend around the world as individuals and groups mobilize to address environmental issues and promote sustainability. Environmental protests, in particular, have become a means for individuals to voice their concerns and demand change. From protests against oil and gas pipelines to demonstrations against deforestation and habitat destruction, people are taking to the streets to call attention to environmental problems. Number 1. A sense of urgency. One of the primary reasons why people participate in environmental protests is a sense of urgency. Climate change, deforestation, and habitat destruction are happening at an alarming rate, and many people feel a pressing need to act now to protect the planet. Environmental protests provide a platform for individuals to come together and demand immediate action from governments, corporations, and other organizations that have the power to affect change. Number 2. A desire for systemic change. Another reason why people participate in environmental protests is a desire for systemic change. Environmental problems are often the result of systemic failures, such as the overconsumption of natural resources, the burning of fossil fuels, and the neglect of renewable energy. Environmental protests aim to challenge these systems and push for more sustainable, equitable solutions that prioritize the environment. Number 3. A need for community. In addition to a sense of urgency and a desire for systemic change, environmental protests also provide a sense of community for participants. People who care about the environment can come together, share their stories and ideas, and support one another in their activism. Environmental protests can be empowering, giving participants a sense of agency and a belief that their actions can make a difference. Number 4. Personal beliefs and values. One of the primary motivations behind environmental activism is a personal commitment to environmental protection and conservation. People who participate in environmental protests often have strong beliefs and values about the importance of preserving the planet for future generations and ensuring that the Earth remains healthy and habitable. They view environmental activism as a way to live out their beliefs and values and make a positive impact on the world. Number 5. Passion for environmental issues. Another reason why people participate in environmental protests is a deep passion for environmental issues and a desire to make a difference. This could stem from a personal connection to the environment, such as spending time in nature or having a background in environmental science. For these individuals, environmental activism is a way to channel their passion and energy into making a meaningful impact on the world. Number 6. Concern for the future. Many people who participate in environmental protests are motivated by a sense of concern for the future of the planet and future generations. They see the pressing environmental challenges we face today, such as the impacts of climate change and deforestation, as a threat to the future of life on Earth. By participating in environmental activism, they hope to raise awareness and prompt action to mitigate these impacts and protect the future of the planet. Number 7. Frustration with government and corporate inaction. Another reason why people participate in environmental protests is frustration with the lack of action on environmental issues by government and corporate entities. People may feel that these entities are not doing enough to address pressing environmental challenges and that their voices are not being heard. Environmental protests provide an opportunity for individuals to come together and demand action, drawing attention to the importance of environmental protection and conservation. Number 8. The need to protect the planet. The primary reason why people participate in environmental protests is the need to protect the planet. The environment is a shared resource, and everyone has a responsibility to take care of it. Environmental degradation is not just an issue that affects the present generation, but also future generations. People participate in environmental protests to show their concern for the planet and to demand action to protect it. Number 9. The impact on local communities. Environmental degradation has a direct impact on local communities. Pollution, deforestation, and loss of biodiversity can lead to health problems, loss of livelihoods, and displacement of people from their homes. People participate in environmental protests to highlight these issues and to demand action to address them. Number 10. A response to inaction. Finally, many people participate in environmental protests because they feel that their government and other organizations are not doing enough to address environmental problems. Protests serve as a way to hold these organizations accountable and push them to take more aggressive action to protect the environment. Conclusion. In conclusion, environmental protests are a powerful means for individuals and communities to address environmental issues and demand change. Whether driven by a sense of urgency, a desire for systemic change, a need for community, or a response to inaction, environmental protests are a way for people to make their voices heard and fight for a more sustainable, equitable future. As environmental issues continue to worsen, it is likely that environmental activism and protests will only become more widespread and influential. That's it for this video on the reasons behind why people participate in environmental protests. I hope you found this information informative and engaging. If you want to stay up to date with our latest videos and content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and become a part of our community. Thank you for watching and take care.